All right, guys, let's move on now to college football. Tim Tebow last weekend was on the wrong end of a vicious hit. In the Gators game against Kentucky, suffering a concussion from the blow. Should Tim Tebow still have been in the game at the time, considering the score and the fact that he was already sick?
No, I think Tim Tebow should have been done at the end of the first quarter. They're up by 31 points. My issue with this is that he and a few other teammates flew over on a separate plane, and he had 2 IVs before actually taking the field. But the thing here with this situation is that you're up by 31 points. You have a huge lead at half. Why not take him out? I know that Urban Meyer was having some issue with the passing game. He wanted to critique it one more time before the end of the game. But putting your Heisman quarterback out on the field in jeopardy when you're up that big is just silly.
I like Urban Meyer, and I think it was a good decision to have Tim Tebow in the game. It was just a bad consequence at the end. College football is based on basically how well you beat other teams. And if you're playing a poor team like the, who were they playing? It was Kentucky.
Kentucky, yeah.
Kentucky, thank you. When they're playing Kentucky, you expect them to win big. A 31-point victory is big. But when you're going out there to try to be the Heisman winner, you want the best statistics, the best numbers that I played every game. I was there all 4 quarters. I mean, I kept my guys in the game. Even though we're up by 31, we got another 14 points. That's what college football is based on. How bad you can make the other team look and how good you can make yourself look. And I don't mean that in a bad way. That's how it is, and that's how it is. So having Tim Tebow in there was a good decision. It just ended up really bad for them.
But Sean, as we saw back in week 1 with Sam Bradford against Brigham Young, he got the wrong end of this. This is similar to Tebow. What if this had been a season-ending injury? We just don't know. It didn't happen. But in this situation, take him out. You're already up by 31 points against Kentucky, a poor SEC team. You're going to win the game. You're the Florida Gators.
Again, the only thing I can think of is that they're trying to win big and win that. But again, especially this season, unlike any other, there have been so many crazy things that happen. So this is expected through the season. What I think you're going to see, though, is teams pulling out their star players because of things like this. Because Sam Bradford out, Tim Tebow out. There's 2 Heisman candidates right there. They're not off the ballot. I still don't even talk about Heisman guys right now because it's still too early in the season. But those are 2 guys who have potential that are already out of the way. So I picture a lot of coaches pulling their guys out when they usually wouldn't.
Now let's look at our own Susquehanna football team, as SU last weekend came out with an impressive victory over arguably the best team in the Liberty League, that being the Hobart Statesmen, winning 20-10. Guys, what are your thoughts on this win as SU starts out with a great conference opener?
It was no doubt a great win. What's most interesting to me is freshman defensive back Jalen Scott. This guy's from Albany. He has 4 picks at as many games. He's playing well. We start Dave Pavlitz run the ball a lot better than he did the week before. This team is playing well, but although Rich Palazzi was in a sling, it's his non-throwing arm. Tom Duff has to step up. This team's got to play well. They got 2 away games coming up. I expect this team to win the conference. They're playing well.
I like what you're saying, Andy. I'm kind of feeling you. My concern is a little with the defense and not really the defense, and this is what I mean. They allowed 364 yards, but this is what I like about it, though. Hobart was 2 for 3 in the red zone with a field goal and a touchdown. So when Hobart was getting yards, Susquehanna held them short, and that's a positive thing right there. So that's the only concern, is that they're allowing too many yards, and they're tiring themselves out. But if they're not allowing any scores, there aren't too many adjustments you need to make. Hobart did beat themselves up a little bit, though, with 8 penalties and 2 interceptions, but that's what you expect. If you want your defense to be good, you expect them to get turnovers. And with that defensive back you were saying, right. That's what you want to see. You want to see the other team making mistakes because of you, and that's what a good defense is. Also, the only other concern is on 3rd down, SU is 4 for 13. I mean, again, they're going to have a new quarterback in there, so things are going to have to change a little bit more. So offensively, there's more concerns. But again, just keeping the ball moving, that's what you got to do.
Okay, guys, now for our variety question of the week. Guys, listen to this. A 1-inch piece of an eating utensil from Wendy's was found and surgically removed from a man's lung after being inside him for what doctors think was over 2 years. It had been giving the man coughing fits and pneumonia spells ever since it entered his body. Guys, are you still making the late-night trip to the window?
No, Mike, I give up with these fast food restaurants. I just got a quick statement to say. Subway, eat fresh.
I totally disagree. I love Wendy's. If I could go right now and get a Frosty, I would have 2. They're that good. I don't know how you can turn up. One guy had a spoon in his belly. Okay, you know what? Why did he eat a spoon? That's not Wendy's fault. Don't you chew your food? Even the Frosty, you have to notice that. How can you turn up a Frosty? And their chicken is delicious. Okay, the fries aren't McDonald's, but they're probably a little bit healthier, okay? And they have that new Asian chicken stuff. Like, how can you not go nuts over Wendy's? Get a Frosty, everybody. Don't worry about this report. It's silly stuff.
Sean, what do you think about Sheets?
Sheets is all right. I'm a big Wawa guy. That's where I come from. But Sheets is all right. But Wawa hoagies, I go nuts for this. I mean, Wawa hoagies beats Wendy's. I'm sorry, Wendy's. I love you. But Wawa hoagies are good.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of SU First and 10. For Andy Pogar and Sean Thistle, I'm your host, Mike Ziegler. Be sure to join us next time.